Show 22, mildly offensive. We got a lot coming at you today, Dylan, right? We got a little Yankee baseball analysis. What a run, man. 11 games in a row until they lost the last game they played to Toronto.
We've also got a lot coming on you.
Yeah.
That Yankee run was very impressive. I don't know. I don't think I expected that to happen.
Back when the Yankees used to be really, really good, they would go on 10, 15, 20 game win streaks. They would peel them off. 98, they had quite a few like 10 or 15 game win streaks. And really good teams do that because you beat inferior teams on your schedule consistently enough, you can string together wins like that. But this team, yeah, I'm a little shocked that they put it together, given the fact that we didn't really think that they had that caliber of play in them.
Do you think we were wrong about this team? Wait. Let's wait.
Yeah,
let's talk about that next.
We're gonna talk about that coming up. Also, NBA playoffs we got second round going on, so a lot of good stuff there.
Yeah, very good stuff.
Yeah,
a lot of very back and forth trading blows kind of thing. Not blow jobs.
No, not blow jobs.
Maybe in Dallas.
Blowjobs in Dallas.
Luka looks like a blowjob guy.
Yeah, well, I tell you what, I'm a blowjob guy if somebody's willing to give it to me. I mean, obviously, you got to be female. That's the criteria. Boom.
Yeah, that's why you like Knob Creek.
Yeah, I like playing with my Knob Creek. I'm up Knob Creek right now without a paddle. We're going to be back. We're going to be on you. We're going to be coming on you. We're going to be splooging on you.
That's what we do. We're here to come all over you.
Mothers, grab your babies and make sure that if they're cowboys that you kill them. Okay?
Hey, theme song, hit that, Brian.
People smile and tell me I'm a lucky one, and we've just begun. Think I'm gonna have a son. We'll be like she and me, as free as a dove. Come and see me, love. The sun is gonna shine above. Even though we ain't got money, I'm so in love with you, honey. Everything will bring a chain of love. In the morning,
You're listening to Mildly Offensive with your host, Corey Wagner and Dylan France. We're back, and we're talking baseball. We're talking Yankerbockers.
Yankerbockers.
Those are the Yankerbockers. Now, I call them the Yankerbockers affectionately because they, along with the Knicks, remind me of how not to run an organization and how to really play successfully. Just how to do anything right. So
and to be fair, too, they're doing a lot of yanking on our bockers, too.
And I got some big bockers. So the Yankees, they won 11 straight before losing their last game. And I got to ask you, Dylan, are they for real or are they pretenders?
Well, I think the couple of series going into Toronto doesn't say much. You beat Baltimore, you beat Detroit, right?
So this is
you beat Kansas City.
You beat Kansas City. This is the prevailing thought, though. This is the John Sterling pearls of wisdom. Okay?
I'm ready for this.
You got to play the schedule that you're given. You can't argue with that. They played the schedule that they were given and they won.
Yeah.
You really gonna berate them for that?
Well, I guess you can, Susan. Can you?
No, but you know what it is. I do agree that the competition wasn't great for.
No, but these are games you're supposed to win
too.
But
look at who they beat. They beat Baltimore and they swept Baltimore and they lost 2-3 to Baltimore. The first series they were in Baltimore for, and so you almost have to make the case that they needed to sweep Baltimore because. You have to win like 17 of 19 or 16 of 19 against them in order to really show that you're a power in this division. I mean, the other teams like I think we said this previously, but the last 3 division winners in the AL East all went like ridiculous, like 16 or 17 and 3 or 2 against Baltimore. Now Baltimore is better this year, but that still doesn't excuse us being like a 500 team against them. So
No, and how much better is Baltimore? Are they, are they going to be 39 wins instead of 36?
I mean, Baltimore's better.
Yeah.
They're better than they were because their pitching's better, but they're far from the worst team in baseball. The worst team in baseball is the Reds.
Yeah,
but
they've won 3 games so far.
They're 3 in like 20.
25, I think.
3 and 25.
Yeah,
they're on pace to lose like 140 games, which to me is like that's you might as well.
Actually, they won today. Look,
you might as well fold up the tent and fucking
they beat
call
the Pirates.
Yeah, the fucking ass Pirates, the butt bandits.
Oh, those Pittsburgh boys.
So I think this team. It's a great sign if they're beating the teams that they should beat, because if you could make the argument the past couple of years they didn't beat the teams that they should beat, and that cost them dearly. Last year, i.e., against Boston, they were in the 1-game playoff, and we didn't even have home field advantage because we couldn't beat Baltimore or people like Kansas City. So I'm kind of stoked that they went on this 11-game streak.
Yeah, no, I think that I don't think that it's possible to be upset that they won 11 in a row.
Of course not.
I'm sure there will people that will find a way to be upset about it, but I think that this team could wind up surprising some people. I never I never thought that it would be a great team, but it looks like they're really gelling together, and the pitching has been good. It hasn't been.
The pitching's been great.
Yeah.
I mean, the bullpen ERA is unbelievable. I mean, they went I don't know how many innings without giving up a run. You can make the argument their worst pitcher is either Chapman or Chad Green. I mean,
right.
Which to me
the
is
two
like
that you'd expect to be the best.
Which to me is like if those are your 2 worst options, then you're doing something good.
Yeah,
you have a lot of options.
The emergence of Michael King has been.
Oh, Michael King's been a godsend. But dude, the Yankees. The only thing that can give you pause is how early it is in the season.
Yeah,
it is early. I mean, we're not even into mid-May yet, but you got to win the games early to give yourself a chance late. And like the Red Sox are burying themselves. Like the Red Sox have been terrible, and they've blown I don't know how many late inning games. They've lost to Baltimore a few times already. I mean, they've lost to Toronto a few. Like Boston is not. They've already put themselves in a position now. In a month or two, they're going to have to win games in order to put themselves into a playoff spot. The Yankees are in a spot where, because they did this early, that they might not be in the same precarious position.
And the thing that we're seeing here, I think that I would hold my breath on how good the Yankees are going to be this season until we play Tampa once.
Yeah,
we've had two series, right, with Toronto so far.
Yeah, we played Toronto twice.
We have pretty much a good idea of what we're gonna get for when we play them.
And we've done well against them. I would say that you could be optimistic about what we've done because we've held them in check offensively, and we've scored our share of runs against them, and we're very good in one run games. We've been very good like that for the past few years because of our pitching and our bullpen. And Toronto's also conversely a very good one-run ball club too. So we have to have. I mean, I think we have the advantage because our bullpen's just better than theirs. Their closer's very good, but I don't necessarily think that their bullpen, aside from their closer, is that great.
If we can play well against Tampa and Toronto, I got to be completely honest with you. I don't think there's anybody else in the American League that I'm worried about.
In the whole league?
Yeah. I think Tampa and Toronto are
cream of the crop.
Yeah.
Well, also
maybe the White Sox.
The Angels have been very good this year.
The Angels, the White Sox. Yeah. I don't know that I'm worried about the Astros.
I would still say the Astros are a team you got to worry a little bit about.
How cool would it be to come to them again?
And the Twins are actually playing pretty good so far. So I honestly think there's a handful of teams. There's 4 or 5 teams the Yankees are in serious competition against, and then I think there's a handful of teams that are just not good enough to really compete on that level. But I think this team. I mean, they were projected by Fangraphs or Baseball, whatever, to win 88 games and tie with Baltimore, with Toronto and Tampa, and I actually think. And Boston was actually projected at that too. I think the Yankees, because of this start and just based on how they've played, I think they're going to win more than 88 games, in my opinion.
Yeah, I could see somewhere around the 93, 94 mark,
Yeah, and honestly, there's an outside chance they win 100 because, they've done that. They did that a couple of years ago in 2018, and honestly, this team is probably just as good, if not better, than that team was at this point. I mean, our balance in our lineup's good. I really love what Rizzo brought to the team. He brought a leadership quality to it that they desperately needed, and the guy has absolutely fucking raked, and his defense is terrific.
Yeah.
And then you also look at LeMahieu. LeMahieu's been terrific at second. He's been terrific at third. He's healthy, and it's clearly showing. The guy's hitting, and he's hitting for average. He's hitting for power. The guy has been great. Glaber's come around the past couple of weeks, which is
a Glaber sighting.
It's a Glaber sighting, and Donaldson worries me a little bit because his batting has not been great. He's definitely striking out a lot, and I think Donaldson, his defense has been good, but his offense, he hit a couple home runs, but I haven't seen consistent.
Yeah,
I haven't seen a streak where he's consistently put it together yet.
Yeah, and you got to wonder if maybe he's going through some pain or something with the injury history. You got to wonder if maybe he's not doing so well, and he's just trying to play through the pain or something. I don't know. I don't want to sit here and make excuses for the guy.
When you've watched, did you think Donaldson looked a little? He doesn't look like he's hitting the ball as well as he should be, right?
He looks disgruntled or something, like
disgruntled,
bothering him. And
really?
I don't know, like that could be causing him not to hit the ball.
You think he's disgruntled?
Maybe not. I don't know.
Listen. This team really likes each other, though. They're going to they went to the Brooklyn Nets playoff game together. They went to LeMahieu, Judge, and Rizzo all went to the Rangers game. We were talking about that before. Together, they're having fun. They really like the company of each other, and it shows. You could tell that they're all gelling, that they all like each other. You could tell that this team is cohesive. You could sometimes you can tell when teams aren't cohesive. You could totally see that this team is really come together pretty quickly.
Yeah, I think it's right now is it's a heck of a time for New York sports,
I mean,
Judge and Rizzo are out on the town.
I mean,
Yankees are the best in baseball right now.
To be honest with you,
the Mets are good.
To be honest with you, the Knicks still suck. The Nets got eliminated early. The Yankees, obviously, it's early in the season, so it's tough to sit here and get crazy optimistic over what's happened because it's so early. The Mets are good, but it's early, and the Jets had a great draft, but again, we'll see the proof's in the pudding here. Yeah. If Bob Saleh can get them rolling during the season. We got to win games, man. I'm at that point where we're almost to the point where we're going to be expected to win games, and what scares me is there's a chance that because of how young we are, we're going to struggle doing that a little bit, I think, especially on the road, I think. But again, Sauce Gardner getting signed is a great thing. I don't want to get too much into the football, but
no.
And then
talk about that next week.
And then the Giants are still a dumpster fire. I think New York sports, we're cautiously optimistic, but I
think we're turning a corner.
What I say, we've been pretty much abysmal for 10 years, so yeah. maybe
we're turning the corner from abysmal. West Abysmal Street to a little less East Abysmal.
We're getting into the Pepto.
We're almost in Chinatown.
We're almost in Pepto Bismol.
Yeah,
and that's a fact, Jack.
You're supposed. I thought maybe you dropped Kaopectate's name there.
I know Kaopectate. If your stomach hurts,
I'm glad you asked.
And you got his shit, Kaopectate to the rescue.
Oh, man.
So dude, I'm happy with what the Yankees have done. They're going to be playing Baltimore. I guess we had a couple games rained out in a row. Hopefully tomorrow they come out and
doubleheader tomorrow, right?
Yeah, I believe so. Hopefully they come out and they play well tomorrow. I think it's Cole and who's
someone for Texas.
For Texas. Oh, they're playing Texas. Okay.
Yeah.
So they're playing. They're gonna.
I know Cole was scheduled to pitch Friday.
The first game's got to be Cole, right? And then the second game, I would assume is would it be? It wouldn't be Tyon. Would it be Jameson?
No, it'd be Cole and Severino.
Severino. Okay. All right.
Yeah. So it's Garrett Cole, and John Gray.
Okay.
for the first game at 1:35.
Mm-hmm. And what's the second game? It's
the
Severino.
Second game is at 5:15.
Okay.
And it's Jordan Montgomery.
Interesting. So they must have. What they did was because they had a couple days off. He must have reshuffled the way that the rotation is because Jordan wouldn't have been starting if they played the game on Friday.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Severino would have been scheduled to start today.
It must be just an issue where they feel more comfortable with a guy on longer rest or something.
Yeah, or maybe they just want to throw a lefty up there. Who knows?
Maybe.
Analytics.
Anal. Hey, just
it's like a 9-volt battery.
It's like sucking a 9-volt battery. Just do it, and you might get shocked. Shock of your life. Stick your tongue in it. See what happens. Anyway, so that's our synopsis on those Yanks, and the Mets have been rolling, right? They won a game the other night where they scored 8 runs against the Phillies in the 9th inning. Is that correct?
It was 7 runs in the 9th inning.
7 runs, but they had 8 runs.
Yeah, it was 7 runs because it was 7-1.
And then it was 8-7 at the end, right? So the Philly fan went from being optimistic about his team closing out the game to putting his rally cap on during that inning.
Yeah. Joe Girardi said that was one of the worst losses he's ever suffered.
I feel bad for him because, I mean, being in Philly is an atrocity to begin with. Fuck those Phillies.
I agree wholeheartedly.
Anyway, so the Mets are doing well, and we'll see what happens. The baseball train is rolling, and we're on it. Yeah. Choo-choo.
Train kept it rolling all night long. The song there.
Yeah, I know. And the train kept rolling all night long.
Yeah. It's Aerosmith.
Is that? Oh yeah. Anyway, so
I think.
Yeah, it is Aerosmith. You're right. So we're gonna take a break. We're gonna come back on you with some NBA playoffs, second round sizzling at you, and then
big time sizzle here.
Yeah, little sizzle, and then after that, we'll see. Maybe we'll surprise you with a little something. All right, we'll be back, and Dylan will be black.
Yeah, we are black. Yo,
Dylan will maybe be in blackface.
I'm wearing all black.
Penny a la vodka. Penny a la vodka. Or a la. What the hell's his name again? Robert Downey Jr. in Tropic Thunder. He'll be wearing that blackface. All right, we'll be back. Bye-bye.
Man, my stomach really hurts.
Really? Your stomach hurts that bad? Well, why don't you try KO Pectate? It's supposed to relieve heartburn and diarrhea in what will feel like no time at all.
Yeah, I've heard about that KO Pectate. They've been in business for over 20 years, and unlike Pepto-Bismol, the taste is much more bearable. So where can I pick up this amazing KO Pectate?
Well, I'm glad you asked, because that's the best part of this product. Anyone can find it at their local drugstore or supermarket.
Great, gotta go get me some KO Pectate.
Tumbling on the seas, far away from dry land and its bitter memories, casting out my sweet life with abandonment and love ceiling bearing down on me, save the starry sky above with light in my
Hey, we're back.
Oh my god.
We're gonna
Charlie Day. Oh my god.
We're gonna talk to you a little bit about the NBA playoffs and where they're at right now, and we're gonna get started with the Boston Celtics and the Milwaukee Bucks.
Series is 2-1.
Yeah,
Bucks.
Milwaukee took the lead today. Giannis had an outstanding game.
Outstanding.
And they held Jason Tatum to 10 points, and I think that
which is impressive.
Yeah, they took Boston's best
asset
and just held him to nothing. And I think if you can do that, you're going to win.
Yeah. Well, the thing is, this series was always about which team stars were going to shine. And Giannis is far and away the best player in the NBA. now. But Giannis won last year. They won the championship last year. So, there was inevitably a chance that they would maybe have a letdown. They wouldn't play as hard, and maybe Boston could slip through the cracks and beat them because they are the 2 seed. And Boston, to be honest with you, I think a lot of people are surprised they beat Brooklyn. So for them to come now, but now everybody's like, well, they're the 2 seed, so they're supposed to win and beat teams. Well, that's possibly something you could have expected, but at the same time, if the fucking neighbors would stop fucking jumping up and down the goddamn stairs, we could really do this show well, but at the same time, the Celtics, they played great. they're the 2 seed. Okay, they're the 2 seed, and they're a 2 seed for a reason. Like, so if they were to beat Milwaukee, would we really be that? Would we be shocked?
I don't think it would be. I mean, I think it would be impressive, but I wouldn't be. It wouldn't be shocking.
It wouldn't be like, oh my god, the 8 seed beat the 1 seed. No,
no. But the turnaround that the Celtics have had this year, if they can come back and beat a team like Milwaukee, it's definitely impressive. But I don't think anybody would be shocked.
No, but
they swept Brooklyn. That was shocking.
Yeah. But as we speak today, though, they're down 2-1. They lost a big game today. That was a huge that was a huge pivot game because.
Yep.
If they would have won that game, then you could say, okay, well, even if Milwaukee wins game 4 in Milwaukee here, then they still have to go and win another game on Boston's home court. And Boston would have retained home court, and they would have essentially gotten back what they lost in the first game of the series. So
game 4 is important.
But game 3, you could make the argument, like you were saying off air prior to this, you were saying that if game 4 Milwaukee wins, you think the series is over.
Yes, correct. But I also think that if Boston can win game 4 and send the series back to Boston tied, then it's a whole different series.
Well, then it's a best of 3.
Yeah, because now you have the momentum going back home.
And you have home court advantage again.
Yeah.
Because then you got game 5 and 7 at home, barring that there is a game 7.
I do think that.
You don't have to think. You can just say it.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
So then
think.
So then I will say it.
Just
Your
think.
Jewish neighbors are banging on the steps over there.
They're not Jewish. I think they're Portuguese.
Oh, okay.
Nah, I have fucking no idea.
Anyway.
No fucking idea.
Anyway.
Fuck those people.
So what I said before was that I think if Milwaukee wins game 4, they win the series.
Go back to your shanties, guys.
Now, I truly believe that if Boston wins game 4, and it goes back to Boston, then I believe it'll go 7 games.
Then it's a real series.
Yeah.
If Boston loses game 4, then Milwaukee.
I believe that Boston would win game 4 and game 5 if they win game 4. And then goes back to Milwaukee.
They win game 6, and then game 7's a toss up. That's the prototypical. We're gonna throw something in the air and see who lands.
Yeah, right.
But I agree with you though. If I think historically, Jesus Christ, you keep fucking slamming the door. How many times you got to go up and down, up and down? I think historically, sorry about that. It's a little sidebar. Historically, the team that wins and goes up 3-1, which is what Milwaukee would do if they won game 5. Game 4, wins in 5 fairly, consistently.
Yes.
Like the Lakers have done that a lot. When they've been a good team in the playoffs, they've come through and beaten teams on the road in 5 games and really shut them down. So I think if Milwaukee wins game 4, it just proves that they're just a better team. And Giannis is the best player in the world. So part of me kind of expects it. But I think Boston's going to put up a fight. I expect to I expect Boston to come back, win game 4, and then it's going to be a dogfight in game 5 in Boston. And if Boston can somehow win game 5 as well, then like you said, then it's a series where I think it goes 7. I agree with you. So I think a lot depends on game 4. If game 4 goes Milwaukee's way, then I think it's over in 5. If game 4 goes Boston's way, and then Dylan, I think we're looking at a much shorter series where either team can win. It's really dependent on runs and who really has the who's shooting better, who's playing defense the best, the best. And like you said today, Tatum only getting 10 points is crazy. So if they lock Tatum down for 10 points in Game 4, I don't see how they don't win that game.
So moving on, we'll go to Philadelphia and Miami.
Ooh.
And
Bam out of Bayou.
Philadelphia lost the first 2 games.
Born on the Bayou.
In Miami. So this is looking like it might turn into a home court series.
Embiid came back, but Miami still has a 2-1 lead though.
Correct.
And Philly had home court though, right? Originally?
No.
They didn't.
Miami's the 1.
Miami's the 1 seed?
Yeah.
Oh shit.
Philly's the 4.
I didn't realize Miami was the 1 seed. Okay, so Miami, it definitely throws a wrench in the plans here with Embiid coming back. It makes it a much harder series.
Yeah.
But
it should still be Miami in 6. I would think Miami in 5 or 6.
I would have to guess that Miami probably. I mean, Miami's good enough that they should be able to even win in Philly, and barring a James Harden freaking game of the century, you can make the argument that they should probably win Game 4.
Harden was good last night,
and if they win Game 4, right? If Miami wins Game 4, it's over.
Okay, Harden wasn't great, but it was good.
But if Philly wins Game 4 and they make it and they tie the series at 2-2, then it's a series.
Yeah.
So
we don't have to spend too much time here. Nobody did really anything too impressive.
But what's your gut telling you though?
I think Miami's still going to win the series. Jimmy Butler had 33. I'm talking to the fucking hutch over here.
Yeah, you are.
Jimmy Butler had 33. Nobody really did anything impressive.
Dude, and Jimmy Butler's an X factor. So
I think he's a 2 though. I don't think he's a 1. I think he'd be better if they had a 1. A 1.
And Bam Adebayo is very good, and I really like Tyler Hero. He's very good, and Spoelstra is a better coach than Doc Rivers at this point, in my opinion. I think Miami has a lot of the advantages in this series, so we'll see how it plays. I expect Miami to win, and I'm gonna say Miami wins it in 6.
Yeah, I would agree with that.
And if they win it in 6, then they'd win it in Philly, right? But
yes.
But I mean, Philly, they've done okay, but with the injuries and some of the inconsistencies, I mean,
like I said though, just Embiid coming back at the last minute, I think that.
Well, it's all right, riding around in the breeze. Well, it's all right, if you live the life you please. Well, it's all right, doing the best you can. Well, it's all right, as long as you lend a hand.
You can sit around and wait for the phone to ring, waiting for someone to tell you everything.